Hey, Pretty Girl Club. I wanted to really address the issue of how people think that the exotical space is a bullying space where we sit around all day and bully unambiguous black women when that's not even close to true. In fact, on my platform, for the most part, I only talk about the experience that I have with them. I'm not making fun of them. I have been through some things, and mostly from unambiguous women. I've been through things with other races of people, but not like this. Not to the point where, like, other races don't try to dig at my self-esteem. And ambiguous women would sit around and call us names. In fact, that's what they did for years. They would, I don't know if you guys remember the Mademoiselle. I used to be a subscriber to her. If she's still making videos, I'm probably still subscribed. I just haven't seen her videos in a while, but I remember she talked big shit about exoticals, especially exoticals with type 3 hair. She would call them Roman head noodle ass bitches or whatever she would say. Like, that was her thing to say. And I would just listen to these things. Mind you, I'm still supporting these people even though they're talking bad about us. I used to follow Chrissy. I still follow Rashida. And, they can express their frustrations with us on their platforms while we can still watch and support and give them views. But on the other hand, when we make our platforms, because we can tell that we're not welcomed in their spaces, we're clearly not welcomed. We just formed our own space. Now we're the bullying crew. Now we're talking bad about them. It's just funny to me because they was talking bad about us for so long, even though we were still supporting them. There's still light skinned saviors out there that still support and are on their sides, which is fine. That's their right. But there's a lot of exoticals who are just tired of the one-sided relationship. It's never reciprocated. My theory on why this is, on why exoticals are hated on the most by black women, unambiguous black women, is because exoticals are still black. We're mixed with black. We have black in our blood, just like them. But we benefit from an ism that they do not benefit from. So it's like, how dare you be black but have more privileges than I do? And I'm black too. It's just, it gives that, you know? And we can't control this. We didn't have nothing to do with how we were born or genes or any of that, how it came out. Mind you, I'm monoracially black. So how I came out, I couldn't tell you. I just came out looking a little different than my parents. But I embrace it and I own it and I love it. But for years, even up to when I was a child, even before, when I was young, I would get gaslit from unambiguous women. Mind you, colorism, I told you guys, colorism was introduced to me by unambiguous black women. I've heard unambiguous black men talk about this, about their own mothers, making fun of their blackness. Like, their black mothers would make fun of their blackness. I think Tommy Sotomayor used to say that all the time. His mother used to make fun of his blackness. And so they do make fun of people, unambiguous women. The elders would do it. When a child is first born, they look at the ear to see if the baby's going to be light or dark. That's them doing all of this. And if you're a lighter skin, if you're an exotical, even if you're brown, dark skin exotical, you're fetishized because you look different. You look different than the average black person. Hence exotical. But people still want to come on my page, and every time I post an exotical Women Wednesdays, they're going to be like, oh, she's not an exotical. Somebody even posted on my birthday post the other day, you're not an exotical. Somebody who's just new to the page or something, I do not know, but I'm tired of explaining what an exotical is. You have black blood in you if you're an exotical, but you benefit from an ism, colorism, texturism, featureism. We are the women or men in the black community who stand out from the rest of the average looking black or black men, we stand out because our features might be a little different, might stand out, might be just abnormal to the average black person's phenotype, which is dark skin, broad features, and type 4 kinky hair, right? But a lot of exoticals, we call ourselves exoticals because we don't have all three at once. And because we don't have all three at once, we get fetishized, we get privileges. And we're owning our privilege because that's what y'all wanted us to do. So that's what we're doing over here. We're not bullies. You know what I'm saying? We talk about our experiences that we've been through because we've been through them. And a lot of unambiguous people know we've been through them because a lot of them been our bullies. You know, they're allowed to talk about their experiences on their platforms. No problem. You know, if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. I also wanted to mention that if you're an unambiguous woman who's a supporter of exoticals, because you can relate to pretty privileged issues, you don't have an inferiority complex about the way that you look. You love the way that you look. You're a proud, unambiguous woman. And unambiguous just means you're undeniably black. For sure, you don't look like you're mixed with something. You're undeniably black. And you're proud to be black. And that's what's up. You know, I love that. You know, but there's not a lot of unambiguous people who feel that way. And the ones that don't feel that way, they're the ones who dig at us and try to bring our platforms down. You know, I've never disrespected an unambiguous black woman ever. But if I call someone dark skinned, they may get offended because that apparently is an insult. Even unambiguous seems to be an insult. But it's not an insult. It's a word, it's a term that describes somebody who's undeniably black. And if you're proud to be black, if you're pro-black, all of this stuff, then you should love being unambiguously black. But a lot of them fake like they love being black. Like, there's a lot of fake pro-black people out there. Trust me, I've dated a lot of fake pro-black men who are dating light-skinned women or women who are lighter than them. You know, it's just so funny to me. And then they talk big shit around me about people, about women who are darker, just like them. They'll be the same complexion, but they'll make fun of that woman on TV. I've had this happen so many times in real life. And they'll be the same complexion. That's just the internalized self-hate that a lot of unambiguous black men don't like to admit. Because they don't like to admit insecurities. Because that makes them feel like weak men or something. I don't know, but so they project it out on the females. Like dating lighter skinned women. You know, it's interesting, all of this. But you know, I just find it interesting also that when an exotical brown skin, if she has type 3 hair, she loves her hair. If a light skinned woman, she loves being light skinned. And this is called self-love, because these are the features that you have, that you're born with, you know. It's called self-love. But, you know, for some reason, when we self-love on ourselves as exotical, people get offended by that. And they think we're better than them because we love the way that we look. That's a reflection on them somehow. It just makes no sense. I just don't get it, that part, how it's offensive to them that we love us. You know, I'm proud of the way that we look as exoticals because I'm an exotical myself. So every Wednesday I would promote an exotical and just give her flowers, because that's just what we do over here. We acknowledge our own phenotypes. We love and support ourselves. You know, we love the way that we look, bottom line. You know, in all exotical channels, we have different personalities, of course. You know, some are gonna, dig more than others, and that's perfectly fine. That's their right. That's their platform. You know what I'm saying? Some are gonna be a little bit more harsh than others. And, that's all you have to do is just not watch. unrecommend. You know, over time, I've noticed the algorithm with YouTube, if you don't watch a certain niche for a while, eventually you're going to stop seeing it on your recommend page. I've noticed that about a few videos that I used to watch, like some of my spiritual videos. I don't see them popping up as much because I've been mostly watching exotical content or related content to this, so I'm going to see more content related to this. But if I steer away from it for a while, it's eventually going to show me other things that I'm interested in. That's just how the algorithm works. So you shouldn't see our content pop up if you're not watching it. But yeah, we're only talking about the unambiguous women who make fun of us and who talk down on us. It's not all of unambiguous people, obviously. It's never all. If the shoe don't fit, don't wear it, right? We do have, like I said, we have unambiguous supporters over here who don't have that inferiority complex. And I love them. I love them for that. I do. They don't give us a hard time about being proud to be us, you know? Anytime I've tried to support or befriend unambiguous women, it was of no return, usually for the most part. Because they just love to dig at they like to dig at us a lot to try to bring us down, to try to give us an inferiority complex. Because I guess when you love yourself too much, it's a problem. And it's like we get made fun of, but we're not allowed to be offended by it. But they can get offended when they feel like we're making fun of them, but we're just talking about the unambiguous Black women who it applies to. And we actually show these people, like when we do our comment foolery, for example, we are showing how you guys, for the most part, not all, talk about us. Like we do comment fooleries for a reason. We just want to show y'all that we're not making stuff up. There's story times on Exoticals United's channel that just tell the stories, We have stories for days. This channel, these spaces give voice to exoticals who've been silenced within their experiences. I've even had exotical men who've come over here on our platforms and are watching because they can relate to it as well. It's relatable to both sexes. This exotical experience is relatable to both sexes. I just can't talk about it from the male's perspective because I'm not a male, but I definitely support exotical men coming over here because the experience is so relatable. We are helping people over here. We're not fooling anybody. Our biggest enemies just so happen to be unambiguous Black women. So we have a lot of stories about unambiguous people. No, you understand what I'm saying? Just this challenge, these spaces give us a voice, We have the right to freedom of speech, just like every other niche, everybody else. We are not doing anything wrong over here. This space is helping so many women. You have no idea. Like, people are waking up to the gaslighting that they experienced when they were growing up. If the Black empowerment space would have included us in the beginning, we wouldn't be here today, probably. We will all be a sisterhood and united as, we come in all shapes and sizes, all phenotypes. But no, we were excluded. So the response to that is we need to belong somewhere. If our own people won't accept us, if we're still triggering people who are non-Black, where do we belong? The misfits of the Black community. So we created our own spaces. Yes, we're pedestalized and all of that, but at the same time, because of that, we are bullied the most within the Black community. Calling us colorists and bleachers and saying that we're not exoticals is just a way for them to get us to shut up. Making fun of us and all of that, calling us names. It's just not going to work, though, because it's not real to us. we're not really colorists, we're not really bleachers, we're not really, you know what I'm saying? All of these things that they try to put on us is not real to us, so they just go in one ear out the other. We just read the comment, either block them or and move on, because it's just you commenting all of these bleachers and colors things. It's just a waste of time, a waste of text, a waste of typing. Don't do it unless you just want to burn calories through your fingers. Don't do it. You know, the insults, if they don't mean anything to us, if it's not real to us, it's not going to work. It's not going to apply at all. You know, people with confidence, we make fun of our flaws. We embrace our flaws. We talk about them. I'm not afraid to be embarrassed. Like if I ever trip in public, I laugh at myself. I'm not embarrassed. When you have self-esteem, you know how to laugh at yourself. If somebody calls us a bleacher, you know, like, okay, I'm a bleacher. Now what? Now what can you do? I'm owning it, you know? Yes, I exfoliate with kojic acid. What are you going to do about it? If you want to call that bleaching, okay. But, you know, like, you know, when you own your, when somebody insults you and you own it, what can they do about it? You took your power back. That's what we did with the name Exoticals. We took our power back, right? So now what? You know, when we get called names, we just brush it right off. We know it's not true, so we just brush it right off. Most unambiguous Black women, they can't do that. You know, if they, in their experiences, like they said, they've been picked on, they're on their own, with their own situations, if they've been picked on, it's like they don't know how to just brush it off and just like, this is not true, this is not real for me. But they let people's opinions of them affect how they see themselves, you know. And I get it. Unambiguous women have had a hard time in the society, you know, due to colorism and everything, and we get that. And that's why we supported y'all for years. But it was like, yeah, we supported y'all, but y'all didn't respect us and just kind of wanted to brush us away, you know. But yeah, them taking little shots at our appearance and trying to make us feel inferior, it's nothing new to us. It's what we've always experienced. It's just now being seen by the world as our space grows, you know. Chrissy and them, before they changed their talking point, used to make fun of Exoticals all the time. The Mademoiselle used to call us, like, you know, they used to call us all kinds of names, y'all. Y'all remember what they used to call us. Exoticals United had a whole video, I don't know if it's still up, of the insults that they used to say to us. But we're not allowed to respond to that. We're not allowed to talk about those things. Yeah, that's not real. Like, we have the right to be on YouTube just like everybody else. This is just YouTube. We are just people, regular people who just have a platform, who wants to talk about the things that they go through. And if you don't like it, just unrecommend. That's all I really have to say. Unrecommend. But that's all I really wanted to say on this video. I just wanted to let this out. I might put this in the rant booth. It's been a while since we've been in the rant booth, because, you know, this is a rant. I'm just tired of people on my page, my platform, coming over here thinking that we're being bullies and stuff, and we're not. So I just wanted to clear that up, and let me know what you guys think about this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you for listening.